Josh Johnson Show. I'm Josh Johnson, joined by my co-host, fellow stand-up comedian Logan Nielsen. Logan, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right, man. How are you?
I am getting a call, so I'm not doing great. 1 second. 1 second. I'm here again. I'm back. Doing great. How are you?
Doing great. Everything's fine. I'm doing all right, man. I think we're about to get some nasty weather here in Iowa. Have you guys been getting hit with anything yet? Not to open with weather talk, but
I mean, it's only nasty if you're not freaky. You know what I mean? Like this is good.
Nope. I hate what you just said.
Nah, like this is just good weather for like if you cuddled up with somebody and like, oh no, we can't leave, maybe we should.
Only nasty if you're not freaky.
Yeah, like maybe we shouldn't leave. Maybe it's nice being warm together,
It's a real baby. It's cold outside situation.
Not really, because you live together in this scenario. This isn't a visitor. That it's cold outside. Wait,
sorry. Are you role playing as me talking to Jess right now?
No, I'm role playing as anybody talking to anybody that lives with anybody.
Okay, because for a second I thought it was.
No, that'd be weird. Baby, don't go out and save lives tonight. Like that'd be wild. No. I'm.
They really need me at the hospital. Nah, girl, come on. The fire is warm. She's like, we don't have a fireplace. Where did you start a fire?
Hey, you know who needs reviving?
This dick.
Well, it takes all the mystery out of it when you say it.
I know. I regret saying it, but it was also funny to me. Well, hey, man.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Yeah.
Merry Christmas. Yeah, it's the holiday season, and you want to do a little holiday mailbag?
We are. We're going to be doing a
little Santa
holiday
sack of emails?
Mailbag, a full-on Santa sack of emails. But also, can you do the thing that you've done before where, like, we'll take turns reading them? So just, like, shoot me anything that you want me to read.
I figure I can do that. Or since we're not, like, really doing video, I can probably just screen share the emails with you.
Yeah. That sounds good.
I think we might do it that way.
Yeah. So we wanted to give back in the form of giving you what you gave us. It's a real regifting of the holiday. You were kind enough to send things in, so we want to read them. We want to share our thoughts on the things that you think with us, with you.
Yeah. Now, when you put it that way, it does sound shitty because basically,
what do you mean?
The gift we're giving, is just announcing what people have given us, and we're like, "You're welcome. We gave it back."
No. But it's like, imagine if somebody gave you a gift and you could add to it. So if I gave you a car and then you got it detailed, it'd be an even better car.
But then saying it's a gift to you because I got my car detailed.
It is. You're giving me a car back? Thank you, brother.
Oh, see now that's what I'm saying, is you're saying.
Yeah.
That's where the communication wasn't lined up because I wasn't giving it back. I was sending you a picture of it detailed being like, Merry Christmas, buddy.
You would do that. That's exactly who you are as a person. So yeah, let's get into it. If you want to take the first one.
Yeah, I'll take the first one. I'll go ahead and screen share with you right now so we can both see them as we go here. Let's get
weird. Let's get freaky with it.
Let's get weird. Let's get freaky. Baby, it's cold outside. Which one do we want to start with here? I'll start with this one because I've had a couple people mention this to me. But this is from Kiera, and the title is Subreddit for Tiny Town and Squirrels. Now, changing it to Tiny Town instead of Toontown kind of goes, and then Squirrels. So this is an abstract change to both of our nicknames from Toontown and Squeaks to Tiny Town and Squirrels, which I don't hate, actually.
Yeah, I mean, if you'll remember, it actually sounds like our Bizarro forms. Like it sounds like there's going to be like just a more extreme version of each of us running around that is Tiny Town and Squirrels. Like Squirrels actually needs to get LASIK. Like actually cannot really see. And then Tiny Town is got like a weird bone fusion going on where his knees are just real low to the ground. You know what I mean? Like he still right. walks, but as far as a shin, his shin is the size of a hand. Like we're talking knee feet right?
That's like a Hank Hill's dad from King of the Hill, where he doesn't
really?
have. Yeah, his shins were blown off in Korea, so they just grafted his feet to his knees. So he just has
No, I'm not
straight,
talking about
short
that
legs.
though. No,
Right.
he still has a little bit of shin.
Oh, still a little bit of shin. Okay.
Yeah, but just enough to look cartoonish.
Squirrels, I was just thinking it's literally like just clothing filled with squirrels masquerading as a man. Just a
And for the voice box, it's just screams. It's just like
they got a little keyboard in there, but there's too many little paws, so they're just typing nonsense. Just 7.
yeah, that makes sense to me. That's
We
what
really
it feels like.
this year the listeners have really created. We've gone beyond the JJU, the Josh Johnson universe, and now we've established the Josh Johnson multiverse. Because now there's Toontowns and Squeaks, there's Tiny Town and Squirrels, there's the Punisher and Iceman, or Man with Ice Powers who hates puns. Like now there's a whole action figure line of the two of us.
There's a lot more going on. I'll admit. I think that some of it is good and some of it has been counterproductive. Like I think that there are some things within.
Some of it has been What has been counterproductive?
I don't know if the bathroom detective should actually like stay in the universe. I think that like I enjoy it, and we're gonna put out that that trilogy, but I also think like, is this who I am when I listen back to it? Like.
Well, I won't reveal too much, but I've been going through the tallies of people's favorite episodes, and I will say that character doesn't not make a showing. How about that? How about that for?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah. What we have become.
We have a lot of enablers out there.
Yeah. Incredible.
Anyway, sorry. Back to this email from Kiera. Subreddit for Tiny Town and Squirrels. Please, it's so late and like everything is fucking funny. So I typed the subject of the email, and of course autocorrect fucked up my words, but made me laugh. So I'm gonna keep it there. So okay, so Tiny Town and Squirrels was actually autocorrect. Hey J-Lo, I recently made a subreddit for the Josh Johnson Show on Reddit. I got tired of having no one to discuss the show with without sounding not like myself. I mean, I said sorry about your brain king at a gathering, and the guys thought I was referring to an NFL game. So then they started asking me questions about football. All I wanted to do was drop a dope-ass line from the show, and it turned into me getting questioned about who plays for the insert any football name here, because most men are assholes who want to badger you for knowing anything. That does sound like us.
I mean, I'd like to dispute, but I have been around people my whole life.
That's the thing. I try my best to not be one of those people, but I know me trying to not be one of those people is because by default we are those people.
Yeah, I've tried really hard. I've definitely, you know what it's led me to though? Now I actually don't help people.
No, dude, that was when like
it really
mansplaining
has
was like
become a
talked
thing.
about a lot. I got to a point where I was like, I'm not explaining anything to anyone, even if they really want my help.
Yeah, it's like it's really not worth it. So I'm just
It's not worth now.
I mean, I'm sure that they'll figure it out.
Yeah. I tend to start with the question of just like, do you want me to tell you? I found just an easy way to avoid that.
As someone who had to leave someone who was stuck in a grate, I've stopped helping. Never want to be that guy.
Even the email says here, sorry, got sidetracked. Well, so did we. Back to Reddit. While I made the sub, I have no idea how to moderate a Reddit thread, nor do I want to. I think the J-Lo community, well, the J-Lo community, I think is something else.
Yeah, the J-Lo, what a mix-up that would be. To get like on a Jennifer Lopez subreddit and then be like, man, y'all ever get your brain injured?
I'm not saying I want people to do that, but I also want people to do that. I think the J-Lo community has enough common sense to make the subreddit a living hell since we were since we're not talking about anything outside of the show, and the show itself is far from problematic. Thank you. That being said, I'm hoping this email will be read on the show for the very reason of bringing the J-Lo community together to laugh at episodes, make inside jokes, and whatever else Redditors do in subreddits. Yeah, I don't understand what people do in subreddits, but I've had a few people send me this, saying like, hey, do you know there's a Reddit for you guys?
Yeah. So I would say that maybe, we can give it a shot. I can't make any promises just because of time constraints, but I would definitely be interested in giving it a shot at like hitting up the Reddit every once in a while with a question or you know what I mean?
Maybe
Like just something. That being said, I feel like a lot of our movements are like a Reddit thread to begin with, so
right. And that's what I'm saying. I don't even know if like it's one of those things where it's like I don't know if we'll get involved with it at all, but I wanted to give it a shout out if someone's trying to create a community for people to get together and talk about the show. I figured may as well shout it out.
Yeah.
They have a link here, reddit.com/The Josh Johnson Show. So I don't know. We're not in charge of it. We're not moderators, but like, I'm all about because we've had people email in trying to be like, hey, can you send me the email to this person that emailed in because they sound cool and I don't feel comfortable doing that. But
yeah, that definitely sounds like a setup. That sounds like
it sounds like it could either go great and make best friends or could be a nightmare.
Yeah.
So this might be a good way for people to voluntarily meet up.
Yeah. Wow.
But that's all. Thanks for keeping me quietly giggling in public spaces and occasionally scaring my coworkers in office with my loud, sudden laughter. P.S. If you have a favorite subreddit or Reddit type interaction, would love to hear about it. For me, it's the relationship Reddit posts where someone is sharing a minor situation between them and a partner, and people instantly jump to, he is such an abusive piece of shit, you need to live him, over something like, my husband didn't eat all his dinner. I hope people do yoga for reaches that far. All right, bye. Sorry I talked way too much. But yeah, Josh Johnson Show subreddit. Best, Kiera. Thank you for that, Kiera.
Thank you so much, Kiera. That means a lot. We appreciate you. And thank you for, starting the subreddit. This could be the beginning of something really beautiful or really terrible.
Yeah, and again, we make no promises that we'll check it at all. But
yeah, I'm what if it really is like a hellscape? Like as soon as we log on, and we get like, oh no, I think the Nazis got to it.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Yes,
a lot of frogs in here.
Kiera, be a moderator with an iron fist, I think is what we're trying to say here. Best of luck to you. Do you ever get on Reddit at all? I've never really. I don't really understand it. Every time I click on something for Reddit, I'm immediately thrown off by just how it's structured.
Yeah, it's
the most old man.
The way
I feel.
that it used to be structured, I think there's been a slight change, but the way that we're structured when we were in college was
big yawn right in the middle of the words.
Was like really hard to read. I felt like the only people who enjoy that type of layout are people who can also code. Like,
yeah,
I just when I would see it in college, when I would even have a link of something that I clicked that took me to Reddit, I would immediately get upset. Like I just hated looking at even the layout of it. And not that it's changed a lot, but maybe it's because the camera quality and all this other stuff has changed with the internet in general, that I feel less annoyed by the look of it.
Okay, that makes sense. Do you see an email here that you want to read?
Yeah, we have an email here that the subject line is Hurricane Sandy saved me from a dating app scam, which is already, thank you for this. Thank you so much for this gift.
That's quite the setup.
Okay. Right. Are you ready?
And we can say it's from Maggie. We can say
I was going to say that at the end.
Okay. Yeah. I usually say who they are at the time. Man, someday you'll understand how I do emails.
No, I understand how you do it. I just didn't know if I should do it the way you do it.
Yeah, I guess you don't have to, but go ahead.
So, are you ready? You all strapped in, tight, for what may very well be a true car accident of a story.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't read this one. This one did get selected purely because of the title.
Yeah, the fact that a hurricane saved you from anything means something bad was about to happen. All right. Hey, guys. I didn't find out about a secret family via a superstore, but I did catch a dating site scammer. I had just come back from being overseas for over a year. The guy I had been dating here and I weren't talking, weren't taking off again, at least in my mind. So I thought, hey, I guess I could try one of these sites. I had exactly 4 responses before I ran screaming from it and have never ventured back. This might be long, but not as long and confusing as the toe fetish story, so hang in there. Anyway, the fact that there were 4 responses, that must have been 4 penises. It had to be. Like, it had to be just all penises. There's no way that you were like hi and someone was like hi and you were like, I'm out of here. Like,
well, it looks like all 4 are listed here. We got 4 numbers here.
Okay. Number 1, first guy, pictures of him in his military garb. I'm not a big fan of the military industrial complex, but thought, hey, let's chat. The story is that his family was killed in a car accident, blah, 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 which is already not
Maggie.
Great.
His family was killed in a car accident, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That's such a grim response.
He was serving in Afghanistan. His story didn't ring true to me, and I left it alone. I'm not going to lie. You haven't given us enough information here for this person to outright look like a liar. Like, it sounds like 2 pretty bad things are happening to him. Like,
yeah. Now, I will say, if that was literally he sent one message and he opened with that, even true or not true, you should avoid that guy because he's going through something and you don't need to get wrapped up in, his trauma.
Have you noticed that, like, bots still don't? This is like going to be the next level of bot, I can assure you. But somehow bots still don't trauma dump. Like, bots are still very much like, hello, hey, you're in my local area. Yeah. Do you like to read? I also like reading.
Yes. Hello, sexy. What doing?
Yes, exactly. Like, there's never a bot that's like, hey, how are you? Thanks for asking. I'm not great.
Yeah, like, hey, how are you? I'm trying out this dating thing. You know, I've just really had a rough year and I'm trying to better myself.
Yeah.
Like, that sounds like a man taking a swing.
That sounds like most people. Like, imagine if a bot was like, oh, how are you? Nice to meet you. They're all dead. It's like, oh my God. Because bots wouldn't be good at it at first.
They're all dead.
Yeah. Okay. So I've got my eye on you, Mag. The blah blah blah. I mean, if I saw the message, then I'd probably I'm gonna say be on your side, because I'm sure that if you're telling me that 2 very plausible things happened to is lying, they must have told you an outlandish story.
That's like, I'm hoping the message had a clear red flag to being a scam or a game. But if not, blah blah blah. Goddamn. Also, the fact that these are 2 things that do happen to people is like. All right, let's move on. We got 3 more of these dudes.
I know, but wow. Second guy, another military one. Are you at a base? Like, did you set your parameters in the app for 2 miles? Okay, second guy, another military one. This guy is in Syria, which was kind of interesting because Syria hadn't gotten all public at the time. And I thought, hey, we chatted. That does say that. I'm not doing that. We
Yeah.
chatted. His family was also killed in a car accident, possibly with the other
Jesus.
guy's family. Not sure. I was skeptical because his writing didn't seem like what an English speaker would typically write. Certainly not an American English speaker. But then I thought, okay, our public school system sucks. So maybe, though he was a major or something. So again, I thought, we are still just texting via the app. So I ask him where he's from. He says LA. So I say, LA is a big place. Whereabouts? He says Avalon. Well, I'm from California. And if I were from Catalina Island, I would brag about it. So I told him this and said, I thought he made that up. I asked him to give me more places he knew in the LA area. He sent back an alphabetized list of cities in the LA area. I'm really seeing where the blah, blah, blah came from now.
Yeah.
Even my LA friends wouldn't recite cities alphabetically. Only the Rain Man could do this. I said, goodbye, you liar.
Goodbye, you liar.
Can you imagine going to like an actual speed dating meetup? And when you sit down, the first person is like, hi, I'm Bob. My entire family was killed in a car accident, and I am in the 157th. And then you're like, oh, okay, that's a lot to hand someone immediately. And then you switch seats, and the next guy's like, hi, I'm Chad. My entire family was killed in a car accident.
And then you're like, name all the cities you know.
Yeah. Just be like, where in Boston are you from? And it's like, oh, well, here's an itemized list of everything I've ever bought in Boston.
Goodbye, you liar.
All right. Number 3. This is where Hurricane Sandy enters the picture. This guy.
God, I forgot.
Yeah.
It's been a journey so far.
This guy is an architect living in New York, but is from Spain. So had that accent thing going in his favor, though sadly not French.
I think that's just saying their favorite accent is French, but yeah, someone from Spain living in New York, bringing in French accent is kind of a wild move.
Oh, God. Okay. Sadly, not French. Sandy is barreling down on New York, and I express my concern. He is fine. Power's still on. All is good. We talk multiple times over the days of Sandy. He tells me about his son and how they would like to visit me. Dad mentioned his wife died in a car accident.
This must be a common scam? To lead with a fucking Batman backstory.
Okay. I say, well, where do you live in New York City? And he says, White Plains. I am clearly not a trusting soul because I'm asking him where exactly. He finally gives me an address and says he has a nice apartment downtown. He says at some point, well, now that you and I have met and you aren't going to use your membership to this shit dating site, can we give it to a friend for him to use? I say, not sure, as I'm Googling his apartment address, which is the White Plains Post Office. Okay. I tell him I doubt there are nice apartments in the post office. He says there are.
Well, you know what? Good recovery.
Yeah. If he had been smart, he would have said, oh, no, that's where I get my mail. But instead, he insisted he lived there.
Or at least say above. There's apartments like above the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that can happen, I think. But
and he circles back to the idea of me giving my account information to him for his friend. I say, sorry, see you, liar. Okay, number 4. As I am recovering from that, I notice someone has waved or winked at me on the app. I look, and it is my ex. Now I am calling him my ex, but he didn't really know it yet. But he is on the app too. Over and out. Membership canceled. Miss Maggie.
Oh.
You know what this whole thing feels like?
What's that?
When you really need a ride home, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
so you open Uber, and Uber is surging. It's like $50 for what you know is a $20 ride.
Oh, yeah.
Then you're like, okay, let me just check Lyft. But Lyft, you go to Lyft, and Lyft is $60. And so then you go back to Uber, and then Uber's like, well, we meet again.
Yeah.
It's $70 now.
And every driver that you get connected with in their bio, it just says, my family is dead.
And then you try to hail a cab, and the cabbie is like, hey, my meter broke, is $80. And then you're like, is there no way that I'm going to get home? And then you see your ex wave at you.
Parked across the street, winking.
Yeah. Wow. And then you're like, I don't think I'm ever going to get in a car again. I think I'm on my bike from here on out.
I think I'm done with cars. I think I'm out. Here's a short one. This is because I remember I can't remember if it was last week or a couple weeks ago, but about the the manager at work named Richard Balls.
Yeah.
So we got another response from the same person. I think we'd left the name off last time because they were talking about being high and talking about their manager. But this one just says, hey, just listen to the new episode where you talk about a person named Dick Balls. Well, I work at a hotel, and I had to check in a guest that was named Richard Balls. Richard shortens to Dick, so I had to hold back laughter while looking this man in the eyes and say, enjoy your stay, Mr. Balls. One of the funniest things in my entire life. Anyway, I'm quite stoned while writing this, but hope y'all have a good day. Which is very similar to the first email they sent. And that's why you can see here, I responded. I said, are you playing with us? Because the last Dick Balls email was from you. And then they sent back, this story is 100% serious, but I don't think I sent you the last Dick Balls story. But I'm pretty sure they did. Yeah, the other one. It's from the same email about Dick Balls. So here's what I'm enjoying about this scenario. One, just love to know there's several Mr. Balls out there. Also, this person has clearly gotten so incredibly high that maybe they forgot they've met their boss twice.
That's so funny. Yeah, I think that is what's happening.
Because both those emails are from the same person, and they're formatted like exactly the same way. They both end the exact same way.
That's so
and
funny.
That's why I responded, because I'm like, I don't want people emailing in thinking they can play with us. But like, and a part of it was also be like, you good? Did you? Is this a sorry about your brain king scenario?
That's so funny though. Like the fact that someone forgot is incredible.
That's great. Dude tells about a different Dick Ball, and even says, I just heard about you guys talking about it. Yeah. We were talking about your email. Speaking of weed, here's another short one. This is from Melissa, and I just like this one because it says, hey guys, y'all sure Josh doesn't smoke weed? Because he just asked, do you think teeth talk to each other? Before proceeding to describe a teeth house party where Logan's extra teeth are unwelcome guests. Anyway, keep up the excellent work. Cheers, Melissa. P.S. In the time it took me to type that, Josh has begun describing the absolute atrocity of Logan's long-lost dead twin he ate emerging from his fucked up teeth and saying, I'm here too. So I don't know, guys. I think he's almost high as I am.
Look,
yeah. Now imagine what Josh would be like if he did get high. This is him sober.
yeah, this is all me. Yeah, like
That's
this is
all
like
me.
this is this is like, you know, like when someone's like, wow, are you on steroids? And it's like, nah, I'm all natty, baby. Like,
Yeah. No,
this is my
just
natural
genetic
brains.
insanity.
Okay. Yeah.
You're welcome for my brain, Kings.
I don't let nothing get in, right? Like nothing that's not already decided that is good stuff. None of that gets in there. I only let the good juices in. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that.
You know what I mean?
Do you see one here you want to read?
Okay, let's see. Oh, we haven't heard from Fat Rob in a while.
Here we go.
Okay, this is our old friend,
Yeah, Fat Rob. It's been a while.
Yeah. I had the privilege, nay, the honor, of visiting New York this week. I was honestly unsure how I would like it, but I absolutely fell in love with the energy of the city, the natural hum, truly like nothing I've ever experienced, the sheer magnitude of its breathtaking. I was there cooking at the Food and Wine Festival. Fortunately for me, I had plenty of time to do a little sightseeing. I'm a nervous flyer, but I had you guys in my ears the whole time, keeping me calm. I appreciate it, fellas. When I come back, definitely going to catch a show. Thanks again. Oh, thank you, Rob.
Yeah, I thought that was just a nice little email. Just like, hey, I went to New York. It was nice.
That's cool.
And I'm going to counter that with an email here from Blobfish, who has emailed us before.
Okay.
And this one is titled "In Los Angeles for the First Time," and it starts with "Don't like it." This is a coast-to-coast review we're doing here.
Oh, God.
Live in Western Colorado, drove 8 hours to Vegas, spent the night, drove 5 hours to Angeles this morning, going to see La Brea Tar Pits, Moulin Rouge, pretty excited. What's up?
You have to say don't like it. Pause for humor.
Pause for humor. I was just taking the pause. Yeah. I like birds. God. I like birds, so I'm happy to see all the different birds. Spotted a mitred or mitred, M-I-T-R-E-D, mitred. I'm not sure how to pronounce parakeet, which is uncommon. Might have been a red-masked parakeet, which is rare, and a vagrant species, so they came here by accident, adding on to it. I like a little bird fact in there. But the city itself, too cramped. I live in a small town by comparison, so I don't like how cramped everything is. LA's never really felt cramped to me. If anything, LA's a little too spread out for my liking. Things could be closer together. That's Logan editorializing. Everything is crushed together, and the people are weird. They are insane, just running across the street during a green with 2 bags of half-eaten cucumbers. I like that this is being clearly judging the whole city based on one guy carrying cucumbers. Whoa, what'd you do?
I dropped something. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Oh, God. Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
That's okay. Also, why is everything so hilly? Well, okay, this is kind of a little nitpicky about geography here. Again, Colorado, surrounded by mountains. I live in a valley, but just it is a hill. The roads are The roads are also giant, bigger than Denver, and just so overdone in every day they can imagine. Phoenix and Las Vegas really rely on U-turns to get places. Los Angeles require a full 10-lane crossing. That crossing is underneath another 10-lane street. By the way, we Uber around. They know the city. This is how it is. It's insane. I was gonna. Those complaints at the end there are just like, it's not the same as everywhere. Update. Saw Moulin Rouge. The audience was so rude. One lady was screaming, "Ow!" and "Yes, woo!" every time something remotely sexual happened in the most blood-curdling voice known to man. She did this the entire time. Really emotional moment, and the main character wipes his greasy hair. Woo! Thank you for that. Los Angeles review.
Look. What you need to understand, thank you for writing in, but what you need to understand is that's just somebody who's very lonely, all right? Who's truly in need of a touch.
Yes.
Because no one woos. Like,
this is sex for her.
This is very close to all the sex. Like, it's
Seeing Moulin Rouge, yeah.
The idea that like even one of the dancers maybe just wiped his brow and like, ow!
Yes, sweat.
It really is like that's so funny that okay. I feel like we finally found one of the attributes of like a perverted auntie because we all know like a perverted uncle. Perverted uncles out here making those like low noises like like
that sounded like Sling Blade.
Yeah, just a little bit of growl and everything they say is like oh, as you do it later. Like, yeah, just something that's really uncomfortable. And those aunties are out here also. Those aunties are out here.
Oh, for sure.
Ow!
Yeah. They are just happy to lay their eyes on a man.
Wow. You know those people who actually be reading the romance novel outside, like.
Yeah.
I mean, there was one time
reading their smut on the bus.
There was one time that I was on the bus in Chicago, and this woman this middle-aged woman was reading a romance novel, and I'm not even kidding. She was reading, and like nobody else was there. She touched her chest, like. Like she had the book out here, right?
Yeah.
But then she went, whew. like she rubbed the middle of her chest like she had Vicks Vapor Rub on it.
Oh, I love that.
And it's just, and then you see the cover, and the cover first of all, he couldn't be on more steroids, and I don't know what book this is. I'd have to find it because it's so funny. It's like basically he is, at least from the angle, because she had it down a little bit because she was reading it.
Oh, did it have like kind of a Fabio cover?
It had
kind
like
of
a
thing?
Fabio cover, but
okay.
The woman the woman is on the horse. This is like such a funny thing. The woman is on the horse, but the man, instead of riding the horse or her grabbing him and he's riding or whatever, he's like under the horse. So I couldn't tell if he was supposed to be lifting the horse or if he was getting trampled by the horse. Because I couldn't see the cover well because it was tilted down.
My husband was trampled by a horse, blah, blah, blah.
My husband was trampled by a horse, blah, blah, blah. Ow! Ow, ow!
Woo! Yeah. Squish him with them hooves. Ow!
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Well, I think you had fun in Los Angeles. But also, sorry, I genuinely snorted there.
Oh, man. Okay. All right. So can you choose the one, it's fourth from the bottom, I fucked up?
I fucked up. There you go.
Okay. You already know the subject. I fucked up. Dear Toontown Squeaks, I've been listening to the show since the beginning and have always thought about sending in an email, but never knew what to say until now.
That does sound so so ominous.
I am a high school teacher and often listen to music or podcasts while I'm grading assignments. Well, I was listening to the Balls episode with headphones on. I'm not an animal. While grading tests in my classroom, when Josh said, "Sorry for your balking," I completely lost it, and the few students I had in my classroom really wanted to know what I was laughing about. Since I would like to keep my job, I could not tell them the whole story, but I panicked and just simply said, "Something funny happened on the podcast I'm listening to." It didn't dawn on me until later that most of my students only know about the serial killer podcast that I listen to, as we use those as sources during our serial killer unit in psychology class. I now have a bunch of students who believe I was laughing to myself while listening to a podcast about actual murders. If kids weren't intimidated by me before, they certainly are now. Anyways, keep doing what you're doing. I'm a huge fan of the podcast, even though I may never listen to it at school again. I love all the Wild Josh stories, and Logan's laugh never fails to make me laugh as well. Best. And then, P.S. Y'all definitely have a bromance going on. Don't lie to yourselves like that.
I try to tell him all the time. He just won't believe me.
Well, you know what? Thanks for writing in. Thanks so much.
That's
for listening
from
to the
Mia
show.
or Maya. It's MIA. I know it can be pronounced either way.
And we appreciate you.
Yeah. That's a new one, though, that like the laughing at work club, but thinking you're just a psychopath, like a genuine.
Yeah.
Like everyone gets crazy looks when they laugh at work, but everyone's looking at you being like, oh, man, the last podcast we knew they were listening to was like about Dahmer.
Yeah.
And they're over there cackling away.
And I don't know what's hilarious about Dahmer.
Oh, I like this one here. This is from, I believe it's from Malia, and the title is "Here's an Episode Idea." Hello, Josh and Logan. Josh, I commented on the Instagram where you wanted us to roast you, and I said you look like the brown M&M. I have found some things from my childhood in Texas that I think you might like. Beware, these annoyingly catchy jingles will be stuck in your DNA for the rest of your life. I'll read the rest of the email and then we'll get to that thing. Anyhow, love the show. My favorite episodes are Say Something Dummy and the episode about the creamer. I'm also an avid creamer drinker, but I water it down with milk. That's
the
most insane shit I have ever heard.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Watering down. I watered down the dairy with some dairy.
You can't have it pure. You got to cut it.
You do.
Huh?
You drink it pure?
I wouldn't necessarily drink it. We don't know what that was. All right.
Yeah, we do.
No,
you don't get to try to retcon the show like you didn't.
Remember that. Remember that, though. We never fully figured out. We never fully figured out what exactly
Yes, you did. Your
was.
roommate came in and said you guys are drinking creamer.
You just gonna take her word for it. You weren't even there when she said.
You took her word for it.
Look,
you told me.
Look. Jury is still out, okay?
Shut up. You're a fool. Shut up.
No, you're a fool.
You're a fucking fool. Shut up.
You are a fool, and you always have been.
Shut up,
all
you
right?
fool.
You will be.
Anyhow, hope you enjoy it. Shut up, fool. Shut up, you fool.
Day.
Fool, I am trying to read.
You are a
Shut the fuck up.
Fool.
Shut up.
Fool.
Anyhow, hope you enjoy these jingles. Maybe you can react to them on the show or something like that. And I just like they go, bye! From Malia. I won't play all of them. I'm going to play one for you just because this takes me back to some stuff from like my childhood too. We didn't have this one. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it. I hope you will.
Okay, fool.
You're a fool.
You're a fool.
So I was excited about this because it made me think about. I have a lot of like jingles, like local jingles stuck in my head. Do you have any of those?
Yeah.
Do you want to tell me any?
No, none of them are good. And if I say them out loud, I'll just be thinking about them all day.
Oh, come on now. Come on. I'll sing you a couple of mine if you sing me one of yours.
You know what? They don't give good internet, though, so I don't even want to promote them. Nobody should know about them. Nah, let me see a different one. Because the internet one is like
an actual like earworm?
Yeah, it's an actual earworm, but they're not a good company. They just paid someone to get themselves stuck in your head like a real parasite. Let me see. There's one that's... Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Oh, you're going to look for it?
I'm going to look for it because I want to make sure I'm doing it right, or else literally no one will. There's already probably only a few people from my hometown that listen to this show.
The ones I got in my head, I can sing for you right now without even needing reference because they are so ingrained in my head. There's Rochester Lapidary Jewelers. If you want to look good, grace, styles, and value. Jewelries, gems, and stones. We got everything you need at the Rochester Lapidary jewelers.
Okay, let's see.
That was a real jazzy one. Soulful even.
Okay. Yeah, I can't find it. So the only thing I can actually give you is this one guy. There's no real like jingle to it. There's just some really catchy music playing in the background, and and then he's like it kind of like sounds like that sort of Silk Sonic-y Bruno Mars type. So it's like, just imagine doom 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 doom.
Okay.
Doom 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 doom. And then he's like going with the beat, like doom 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 doom. And then he looks at the camera. He's like, "Have you been hurt?" And then they're still going doom 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 doom. He's like, "It wasn't your fault." Doom 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 doom.
So yours is kind of a slam poetry
Yeah, yeah.
ad, not so much a jingle, but
Yeah, I think he was trying to. It ended up being slam poetry because he couldn't sing and couldn't really stay with the beat. But it ended up being a little bit of an R&B attempt.
Okay, gotcha. We also had Universal Marine and RV was another one. And it was imagine yourself having fun and feeling free. Universal Marine and RV, and it was for boat. It was boat and camper rentals. But having fun and feeling free.
Wow.
Let's do this one here. Do you want to read this one, or do you want me to read it?
I might need you to read it just because it is so small on my computer. It's a little bit hard to read.
And you got shitty eyes? Because you won't get glasses because you're a fool?
No, you're a fool. All right? You are a foolish fool.
All right. This is from Daniel, and it is titled, "I accidentally competed in an Iron Man competition, plus stand-up advice." So,
It really runs the full spectrum of like human interaction.
yeah. Hey, Josh and Logan. I hope you all are doing well. My name is Daniel. You may remember me from my email entry in episode number 106, Jim Stepdad, where I told you all about my slightly humiliating experience puking at my local gym. Oh, I do remember that. I have another funny story of something that recently happened to me that I wanted to share with you. But first, I wanted to ask you for some advice regarding my new adventure in the world of stand-up comedy. I recently performed my first ever stand-up comedy set at a local club here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. It was a brief 5-minute set, and I not only had a great time, but I was given many compliments from some of the attendees that night. The organizer even caught me after the show and informed me that he could send me the dates and locations of some upcoming open mics if I was at all interested in potentially performing at them. I told him that I definitely was, and I'm currently waiting to hear back from him. All that being said, I wanted to ask you if you had any advice for me as a new comic. This is definitely just a small hobby for me, but I would love to continue to try my hand at it in the future if given the opportunity. Any advice on how you guys come up with material? How do you typically practice? Any and all help would be much appreciated. Maybe we'll give some advice first, and then we'll read the story here.
Yeah, I think that for the most part, just having fun is the best thing that you can do starting out. Like, I think that some people, it's exactly like going to the gym. I think some people like take it very seriously and get really into it and want to like get really far in their first like 2 visits, and then they end up burning out or like not getting the results they want in 2 weeks, and so it makes them want to give up. But if you're just like having fun and building community and meeting people that you think are funny and getting to watch people that you think are funny, and it's one of those things that gives you confidence and a source of joy, then I think sticking with it for now is the best thing you can be doing, because all those things that you could want will come later with more experience. So there's no real there's no real like long-term tip that I could give. I will say one piece of advice I give everybody if I don't see them do it is to, when you start, put the mic stand away from you. Like so many people starting out let the mic stand upstage them. Like they'll just take it they'll take the mic out of the stand and then leave it in front of them, blocking them on stage.
Yeah, a
And
lot of people do that when they
yeah,
start.
and I think that's the only thing that I tell people who are like almost brand new. Other than that, though, I don't think that there's anything that you can do except continue to enjoy yourself and like enjoy writing, enjoy learning how to perform better.
Yeah, I mean, you've already done the hardest thing, which is start. Like that's what keeps a lot of people from doing it at all. Is literally just signing up that first time. Because we both met a lot of people who are just like, oh, I want to do stand up, and I always say, okay, go do it then, and then they don't because that's the hard part. So you got that, and I'm glad it went well. One of your next times is not gonna go well. Within like those first like 5 times you do it, one of them hurts very badly. Whether it's your first one or it's like your third one. So just know that's gonna happen. It's nothing you did wrong. It's part of the journey. It's part of learning it. So if you still like it, just shake that off and move forward. And then I think just for writing, like for me when I started out, when I was brand new, I literally just had a little notebook with me and I made myself just write down 3 thoughts a day. Mm-hmm. Even if they weren't funny, even if they never became anything, I just made myself write them down, which just got me better at not only just creating a collection of stuff, but also it made me better at being choosy about what I wanted to talk about by just the nature of constantly writing down ideas. Mm-hmm. So it's not even like generating good material or good stories. It was just like, oh, I have a fleeting thought that maybe is a bit. I'm just going to write it down. And then I just would make sure I'd write down 3 a day. And that's how I generate material. How did you do it in the beginning when you started out?
I really would just like go off of experiences that I had, or like I try to like flush out an idea. So what I did when I started out, which, you know, who knows if this was even a good idea, but I would have like one thing that I really wanted to talk about, and I try to pull as much as I could out of that one thing, and then, you know, one thing at a 5-minute mic became 2 things, became like writing just a straight up joke, became having a set, you know. But like I really stuck to, here's the thing that I think is funny, whether it's a story or a concept, and I'm just going to mine it as much as possible every time. And then, you know, through the process of like elimination and just through realizing what people laughed at and what was just filler, you cut it down from there.
Yeah. But congrats on starting out and best of luck in your future sets. And now on to the story here. I also wanted to leave you with a funny story of something that recently happened to me. Over the weekend, there was an Ironman competition here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. On Sunday, I decided to go for a run in the afternoon as I had been inside for most of the day and wanted to get out for a bit. After running for a little over a mile, my route took me by the main road where the Ironman competitors were running. Once I reached the road, I was at this point, once I reached the road, I was at the point running side by side with the competitors and was headed for the famous Walnut Street Bridge here in Chattanooga. Little did I know, the Ironman competitors were also headed for that same bridge. Once I reached the beginning of the bridge, I realized that I had accidentally found myself competing in the Ironman race alongside people who, at this point, had been running for 13 plus miles. I was committed to it at this point and couldn't turn back. So there I was, running alongside the racers on the bridge. The whole time I am running across the bridge, crowds of people are cheering me on and giving me words of encouragement as they assumed I was an Ironman competitor, even though I was in fact not a registered competitor in the race. However, once I reached the other side of the bridge, I realized there was a large crowd of around 100 to 200 people waiting for all of the runners to cross the bridge cross the bridge with signs and bullhorns. I had to make a decision in this moment. Do I run with all of the competitors through the crowd and act like I was an actual Ironman competitor? Or do I run off course and away from the race altogether? I was really starting to feel like the person in the group that didn't contribute to the group project but still got an A+ on the assignment. So I decided to run around the crowd and off the race route. It just didn't feel right for me to run through the large crowd of people at the end of the bridge. But who knows, maybe if I did, I would have received some kind of participation trophy. I definitely felt like I was being showered with undeserved praise at that moment. But hey, I will take what I can get, I suppose. Anyway, I hope you all are doing well and didn't mind my longer than necessary emails. I'm loving the podcast. Keep up the great work. Take care, Daniel. Daniel, I will say I would have ran straight into that crowd and soaked up that adoration. That's what I would have done.
Yeah, you would have been. It would have been so funny if you had run through and then you were really like talking shit. as you cross. Like, oh, you look.
You guys are winded. I'm still feeling great.
Y'all look a little dehydrated, if you ask me.
I was hoping I knew it wasn't going to lead to this because it's too cartoony, but the idea of accidentally competing in an Ironman competition, I met up with them at the bridge, and then suddenly here I am on a bike.
Yeah, because this is the thing. If you're not supposed to be in it at all, because I told you about we did an episode about the marathon stolen valor, right?
Yes, we've talked about that. Yeah,
it's like if you manage to get in one of those things, they only have so many bikes and stuff for the people competing. So you
could steal someone's spot.
But I think even the other competitors at a certain point would be like, why doesn't that guy have a number on his chest?
Yeah. Or you're on the bike and then you're swimming and you're just exhausted. You're like, I don't want to be doing this. I didn't mean to do this.
Yeah.
Someone in an Ironman competition by duress, just like on a bike. Like I didn't want to. I have places to be.
I mean,
I can't
honestly,
do this right now.
When you start reading the story, I thought that he was going to compete out of pressure because the people in the beginning thought he was part of it, so then he just stayed in it.
No, Daniel sounds too nice. Sounds. Here's the thing, Daniel. From this story, it sounds like you're polite and very sure of yourself. So you're like, I'll just get out of here. I'm not gonna let the pressures of the race control me. So you sound mentally healthy, but I would have loved it if you were just like, yeah. Then I ran in there and I got a medal.
I got a medal. I think some guy drowned.
We're at an hour. We could probably wrap it up.
Okay. Can you? Let me see. There's one.
Did you want to do one more?
Maybe one more. All right. Well, this one is titled Strife, and it is from our friend Ben. Hello, Josh and Logan. Logan, how do you feel when Josh responds to your story with, "That's so funny," and immediately moves on to a new topic? Do you think he actually thinks what you said was funny? Also, I wanted to share a couple of stories from high school. Every day while driving,
didn't even let me answer. Just moved right on.
Oh yeah.
That's how little he cares about what I think.
Do you think that I think that you're being funny when I say that's funny?
I do know that's how you react to things that are funny. Yeah. But from the outside, just hearing into the podcast, it probably does sound like you don't care. But knowing you personally, I know that is how you react to something you genuinely find funny.
Yeah.
It's how a lot of comics. It's actually like if something is really, really funny to me, that I usually just go like, "Wow, that's really funny." Mm-hmm. Like I don't laugh. I kind of just appreciate how funny it is.
Do you? Yeah, I do the same thing. I will laugh. You know what happens? That I've realized this week.
What?
I laugh really hard the third time if I'm watching a clip. Like so like if I see a clip on Twitter or something, the first time I don't laugh at all. I'm just kind of like, oh, that's funny. And then there's a part of me that's like, let me watch it again. And then the second or third time is when I have the laugh that I should have had, that normal people would have the first time.
Yeah.
So the first time I see it, because so much of Twitter, even with clips, is like within a joke. So I'm thinking about the joke while I'm watching the video. So I'm not really enjoying the video. But then when I'm like getting the video again, then I'm like, okay, now I know what the punchline is, so I don't have to look for anything, and I can just enjoy it.
Because sometimes, like, I don't know if you mean it this way, but it's like sometimes I'm just trying to like reverse engineer like what they've done, like as a stand-up.
Yeah,
like,
I'm just trying to make sense of what
process of it.
They've done. Yeah.
Yeah, and especially if it's like really funny and unexpected, it makes me kind of go like, "Whoa, okay, how did they plant the seeds for that payoff?" And it's like I'm more putting the puzzle together as the process instead of just enjoying it.
Yeah, which does end up being distracting from the joke and stuff.
So just know when Josh says that's so funny. I mean, sometimes he's probably not paying attention, but a lot of times it means he enjoys it. Hello?
Yeah.
Were you going to finish the email?
Yeah. I was waiting for you to be done.
I was done talking. talking for so long and you just stared ahead.
No, I was waiting just in case. All right, you're a fool. You're a fool. You're an actual fool.
That's so funny.
It's crazy. You would have done great in medieval England because you are a fool.
Finish the email.
You're a fool. Okay. Every day while driving to high school, I would eat an apple. While I was walking into the building, I would throw my apple core into another student's truck bed. I did this for at least 3 months. One day, he finally caught me and asked me what the fuck I was doing. I just shrugged my shoulders and kept walking. I'm still not sure why he didn't kick my ass.
Wow. Baller move.
My senior year of high school, I drove a blue Ford Windstar minivan to school. Another kid who was more popular than me had the exact same van. At the end of the year, the popular girls at the school would go out in the parking lot and write things on the windows of other seniors' cars. They mistook his van for my van, so I walked out of school to see "We love you, Eric" written on the windows of my van. My name is Ben. I drove the van around all summer with that on the window, and my friends constantly roasted me. I love the show, but people act like you guys won a Nobel Peace Prize when they compliment the show during the mailbag section. So I'll just say, good job. Thanks, Ben.
Wow. That email's a real criticism sandwich.
Yeah, it's like, look, like Ben has the demeanor of somebody that's definitely trying to smash, because it's like, I love the show, but people act like y'all want a Nobel Peace Prize or something.
Yeah.
But good job.
Yeah. I like the show. You're not all that. Also, Josh has this weird reaction. No, I mean, Ben has the energy of a man who throws apple cores into someone's truck for 3 months.
And also doesn't know why he does.
Just does it. Ben is a man to be respected and feared. I'll say that.
Wow. Wow. That's incredible.
That's so funny.
That is funny. Thank you so much for listening to the Josh Johnson Show. I hope you had a great time listening. We had a great time recording. So if you are looking to catch up with us on any of the socials, you can find me at Josh Johnson Comedy on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, where we're going to be posting clips of the show. And if you're looking for Logan,
you can follow me on Instagram at Logan M. Nielsen. And if you want to get into the mailbag, you can send us an email, joshjohnsonshow@gmail.com. We read them at the end of every episode, and sometimes we do these big, long ones. We also read reviews on Apple Podcasts. If you leave us a 5-star review and leave us you actually have to write a review. We can't see the 5-star just ratings, but if you leave us a 5-star review, we like to read those sometimes too, and it helps us on that platform. And if you want more of us, we got bonus stuff over on Patreon, patreon.com/Josh Johnson Show. We've got bonus shows we do there where we debate stuff, where I, prove how big of a fool Josh is.
You're a fool.
You're a fool.
Remember that.
You can also get full replays to live shows we've done. We just did our last virtual live show of 2022. It was very fun. I think this one was genuinely unhinged. So I'm very, I'm excited and concerned to see what happens in 2023 at the virtual live show, because it was a dark holiday episode. I will say that. And then we're gonna be on the road in January. Josh kicks off his freshman tour, is what he's calling it, and I'm on a couple of the shows at the start of the year. So all that stuff and all the links down below and all that jazz. Come see us.
Yeah, and have a great rest of the week, into the weekend, into the holiday.
Bye-bye.
Fool.
You're a fucking fool.
Fool.
You're a fool.
Fool. Let's see. Let me turn off the recording.
Stop recording right now, too, you big dumb fool.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. It really supports the channel. Hit the bell notification, because apparently it's the only way YouTube will tell you that something happened. And just tell a friend. That's the biggest thing you could do. Just tell one person in your life that you like, maybe you don't like, that this video happened to you.
We release the podcast every Thursday on all the podcast apps, so you should find us there and subscribe on those and comment and leave reviews and whatever on all of them. And also, if you want bonus stuff, you can join our Patreon, patreon.com/Josh Johnson Show. We have bonus podcasts and videos and stuff there, and we'd love to see you.
Has anybody already talked about the boat? The Titanic thing? Okay, all right. Yeah, all right. Like, look. Y'all, we can say things here that we can't say out there. That's what makes this place special, all right? If I said out there what I'm about to say it here, I'd be a lunatic. I saved it all day for in here, all right? I don't even know where to start. It really is the wildest. Like, how you go pay $250,000 and the captain using the controller I used to play Legend of Dragoon when I was 14. That's the same fucking controller, too. Not even an Xbox controller. They had a PS1 controller. PS1 doesn't even exist. You know what I mean? Even PlayStation is like, that's the one you... Ooh. I do feel horrible for Logitech as a company. I do, because they didn't have anything to do with this shit, and the stock went down. Like, that's... You gotta remember how stocks work. Stocks work, none of it's real. So it all works on your belief in the thing. And so now we believe in Logitech less because somebody decided to stick it into the controller of a submarine. Logitech had nothing to do with it. Logitech didn't roll up and was like, hey, when you drive your submarine, they didn't do that. They were just being Logitech. And then the motherfucker was like, I like the way that controller looked. Fuck a wheel. Let's go ahead and use these sticks. Yeah? That's somebody that's like hella overconfident in their NBA Jam game. You're like, let me just go ahead and use what I was using while I was killing them on NBA. No, it's wild. It really is. This is crazy. And I don't even know, like, you almost don't know how to feel. And I think that's part of the problem is that everything happens so fast now, you have to know how you feel immediately. Because everyone has a take immediately. And that's not how the world works, you know? Sometimes you see something, you don't know how you feel about it when it happens. And you need a day or two. But that's not how the news cycle works, it's not how people work, it's not how social works, you know? That's a big problem I have. I'm never the person with like the first take. I try to think for a while and then have a good take on something. And I still don't have a good take on this. I'll admit that right now. Like I really don't. It's hella conflicting. Like, I'll tell you who's not conflicted, though, is the Titanic. The Titanic is like, wow. Like, we up here, can we laugh about it? Can we not laugh about it? Whatever. Titanic just crip walking right now. Like, I fucking got another one. That's crazy. That's wild. I don't know what to do with that. Like, I feel weird about it because it's not all black and white. It's not all cut and dry, you know? Like there's a lot online that's like, hey, there was a boat full of refugees that capsized and didn't get any media attention and hundreds of people died, but then we're talking about these 5 rich people over and over. It's like, okay, sure, but like you can't just put all 5 people in it. You can't. One guy was the dumb captain. Do you know what I mean? And one person was a kid. That's a huge part that's left out of this thing. It's like that's the person who I actually do feel bad for in all this, even though he is like a billionaire son or whatever. I know it's easy to be like, fuck them all, but it's like that you could tell that kid went because he's like, it's Father's Day weekend. I can like. Oh, get that motherfucker a tie, all right? That's not worth all that.
And it really is crazy because I understand what people are saying when they make that distinction, when they're like, you know, this person gets no media attention, these people do. Why are there so many search crews for these people? And there wasn't it took the Coast Guard a long time to get out there to help people we knew were drowning, whatever. And just hear me out, sincerely, just hear me out. I think that whether it's media attention or it's help from any government or group of people, the reason that they got all that attention and the other people didn't is that no one is trying to be those refugees. Does that make sense? We've been conditioned our whole lives to try to be billionaires, try to be millionaires, try to be like someone. So then when something happens that looks like it would happen to us if we became them, we're interested in it. And the media's interested in it, and government's interested in it and stuff. And so I think that that's the main reason. It's not some media failing. It's us. It's how we live. It's how we think and everything. You know? Like, I want to know, how do you put it? It's not even a person thing. I'm most curious to know what the orcas think. Do you know what I mean? Just because they pretty deep, and so when that shit went down, that would scare the shit out of an orca. Like just a huge explosion out of nowhere. Orca's like, this is a bad neighborhood. I knew it. This is...
Make some noise for Josh Johnson!
There's so much is going into the Super Bowl this year. Not only is it Chiefs versus Eagles, there's so much more at play, you know? Like, everybody talks about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce because they're this idea of like the couple we imagine in our minds, but they're adults. It's like high school, but grown up. You know what I mean? Because she symbolically is like this cheerleader in our minds, this like head cheerleader, and it's not his position, but it's symbolically the quarterback in our minds. And so them getting together makes such perfect rom-com sense that there are actually people who think that all of the NFL is fixed just to keep the Chiefs winning, just to keep them going. And honestly, you kind of have to give Taylor props. There are people that think she's so powerful. She is single-handedly shifting the course of the NFL. You know, because this is my thing with it. You know, if it's fixed, why would they be tackling so hard? You don't need to sell it that bad. If most of the teams know they're not going to the Super Bowl, I think you lay off of a couple hits. I don't think anybody's getting CTE as part of a script. I look at Taylor Swift, I look at what they did to Taylor Swift, especially that part of the season when her and Travis Kelce were just starting to date and they cut to her for no reason. And then people got mad that they were cutting to her. They'd be like, why do you keep cutting to Taylor? But Taylor can't control the camera. Taylor was just trying to eat. And then they cut to her, and then she's doing her best to probably not look annoyed, but also she's genuinely having a good time. She's there with her friends. Yeah, touchdown, yeah, right. But then people are like, why do you keep cutting to her? I don't know. This has never happened before. Cameraman's excited too. They might not even mean to cut to her every time. They're just probably like, man, this is a good play, but I wonder what Taylor's up to. Don't get mad at Taylor because the cameraman got a crush. And so then Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce together. Now Travis Kelce is an interesting dude to me. He really is. Because Travis Kelce, up until this point, I think, I don't know him that well and follow him that closely, but I think he had like mostly, if not only, dated black women before Taylor, you know? And so he has like a fade. So this dude has a fade, and people were asking him about his fade because he has his platform raised. He was already super popular, but his platform got knocked up a few levels by dating Taylor. There were more eyes on him than ever before. And so then, you know, everyone was asking him about his fade. And then about exactly a year ago, from when I'm speaking right now, they asked him about his fade and what it was like to like invent that look. And to his credit, Travis Kelce said, "It's the first day of Black History Month." What are you trying to do to me? Which, what an answer. You know what I mean? Like, this is the thing I really didn't think about until that moment, is that if you're like a white dude, right? And something ignorant or even bigoted happens around you. Somebody asks an ignorant question or somebody just says something, right? The expectation, if you're a good guy, is to say something immediately, just really stand up and be like, "Hey, that's not cool, that's not okay, don't do that," right? You know, just really, you can't even give it a second. You have to be like, "Hey, stop right there, okay? Hey, listen here, pal, cut it out. Hey, look, buddy, don't go any further, all right? Gosh darn it, that's racist. Don't you dare, not in my house, not. Nah, get a load of this guy. No way, not today, brother," right? That's the expectation, that you're gonna like notice it, you're gonna catch it, and you're gonna jump on it immediately. And if you don't do that, then you must have been with that thing. That's the assumption, right? But then you're also, and I really didn't give some of my white friends enough credit in this position, if you take too much of a stand, that's also suspicious. You know what I mean? You hear me? Like if something like ignorant happens around you, or an ignorant question gets asked of you, and then you're like, "What? No! Racism? Not today!" "Nah, buddy, I'm putting my foot down." Like, because then people are like, "Oh, what? Are you hiding something? Why are you so amped up like this?" You know? And so to his credit, he's like, "Guys, look, it's the first day of Black History Month. What are you trying to do to me? All right? I didn't invent that look, okay? I got a barber. He knows how to do the taper. Trim it down in the back, 2 or the 4. But if you want to fade, I know a guy. I know a dude. He's good. You know, he does mine." Travis Kelce's sitting there like, "What kind of questions are you asking me? How do y'all not know any black people? You cover the NFL." What's wrong with you? You know? And Travis and Taylor together, they do, to me at least, you know, the little bit that I engage with it, because I don't necessarily follow either one of them closely, but every time I see them together, they do look like picture perfect in a way where I'm like, okay, obviously you're going to get the conspiracy theories, but the conspiracy theories were weird to me because they were like people upset. But what's there to be upset about? It's football. She's blonde. We're in America. This is the most American thing that could be happening. And there are people that are like, no, it's a psyop. I'm like, against who? It's a beautiful white couple. Who are we trying to trick? What is the plan here? That's how you can tell there's some people that just need to be mad about anything possible. I'm like, what? You're the one that said stop kneeling, and now you're mad at Taylor and Travis Kelce for holding hands. What's crazy about the Super Bowl for me is that no matter who wins, no matter who it is, the celebrations I've always found very odd. You know? I understand celebrating when you get the touchdown. I love those. I hate it when the NFL tried to like clamp down on any showboat, any celebrations, because you just did one of the hardest things in the world. Imagine if you did that for like a scientist. Scientist finds the cure and he can't even do a little. And you're like, Josh, why are you comparing scientists finding cures to players getting a touchdown? I'm telling you right now, they're almost as hard as each other. Because I have some pretty sizable individuals in my family, you know. And I have a cousin, he's 2'11", all muscle. If I wanted to get around him, I'd need something sharp. So trust me when I tell you, if I get around this man and then outrun him and then get a touchdown, I'm hitting it hard. I'm hitting it in his face because it may never happen again. I love like a good touchdown celebration. They spike that ball and then you see what moves they have because these are big men. These are very big men. So they're not always the most agile. Like they're good at running, but usually in a straight line. A lot of the times when these players fall, it's falls where, look, I'm not a professional athlete, but I don't tip that easy. Every once in a while, you'll see an NFL player run it, and then somebody just sort of moves their shoulder, like, uh-oh. That's my favorite, is when they catch it, and then somebody's too close, and they're like, we going down. All right. No, but when they get in the zone, they've spiked the ball, there's a couple seconds left, and they're allowed to celebrate. This is when you could really do it. And they hit something you didn't even think was possible, you know. Really flowy with it. You know what I mean? They use their hips and stuff. No, that's my favorite. I wish it was even longer. They should get more time to do it, you know? Like hockey has whole breaks for fights. You could let a guy run in and get on his hands and knees, and then the other guy's like, yeah! No, I'm telling you, it's a beautiful thing to see them that excited, that happy. This is what they work for. This is what they put their bodies on the line for, and it's why they're in pain most of the time. These dudes retire, and it's not like they can just take an Advil. They just have headaches for the rest of their life. And so in this moment, they did what they came to do. They scored. Maybe they won. Let them celebrate, you know? Some of the celebrations I don't get, though. Like, when they win, and they have to throw some sort of liquid on the coach. I feel like we never ask the coach how they feel about it. Because they don't always look excited. It's almost like a requirement that whatever it is has to have some ice. And it has to be a surprise. They never do it from the front. It's always just poured all over the coach. Why is it? They win. They did what they came here to do, and they look at the coach and they're like, yeah, drown him. He'll love it. On top of everything, with Travis and Taylor and the Chiefs, you have the Eagles fans. Truly remarkable. They're terrifying.
And it doesn't matter who wins, because whichever city wins, this happens every year, every Super Bowl, every Stanley Cup, whichever city wins looks like it's been attacked the next day. Why is it that the winning city looks so busted the day you won? Why are you tearing up your city? The team will win, and then their own fans will go out into the city and cause so much destruction. You would think the other team sent their city. Like, go get them, Kansas City. What they did to us. You know, I've watched it happen. You know, I lived in Chicago when the Blackhawks won the Stanley Cup. And they, a bus. They were leaving, everybody's excited. And then there was just like a group think, that's a bus. It shouldn't be right side up. Let's go correct that right now. And then the bus driver is sitting in the bus like, y'all, I'm your ride. Why are y'all? We're going down. And on top of it all, you have the Super Bowl halftime show performed by Kendrick Lamar. And as far as we know, SZA and potentially some other guests, you know. And this is wild. You know, Kendrick said it about himself, but truly, we're seeing astronomical, historical levels of him being the biggest hater in the world. Fundamental hate. A hater where I pray I never have a hater that plans as well and executes hate so efficiently as Kendrick Lamar. This man hates the level of hate. Okay, so if you are not aware, in the beef between Drake and Kendrick Lamar, the first song that you could say maybe even kicked off the whole thing, some people say it was like that, but some people say it was First Person Shooter. And in First Person Shooter, Drake says, big as the what? Big as the what? Big as the Super Bowl. And I guess Kendrick said, challenge accepted. Because you're not ready for the level of hate I can bring. And then there was a whole beef, and this whole thing happened, and, you know, Kendrick kind of, I don't know, I guess ruined Drake's life. And then it's announced that Kendrick is gonna be doing the Super Bowl halftime show. And Drake, he started suing. He started suing different parties. He started suing in different ways, different lawsuits claiming different things, some defamation, some were just petitions to get information, claiming that Not Like Us, the song that I'm assuming plays in Drake's head 24/7. You know, that song that they use bots. They must use bots. That's why it's so popular and everything. And then he withdrew one lawsuit and he filed another lawsuit. And it would seem, I'm not Drake and I'm not on his team and I don't know his lawyers, but it would seem that all these lawsuits are to, in some way, hopefully, possibly, stop Kendrick Lamar from performing Not Like Us at the Super Bowl. That is what a lot of people think all of this is about. He just doesn't want him to perform that song at the Super Bowl. And so maybe he thinks that if he causes enough legal trouble and kicks up enough of a fuss, that the NFL will be like, hey, sir, Mr. Lamar, Mr. Morale. I heard it. Great album. If you could not do this one, because we just don't want to be involved in any suits and stuff. I think that's what Drake was hoping. And it appears that has not worked, because then a representative for the NFL came out and said Kendrick can do whatever songs he wants, whatever. It's his halftime show, so let him perform. You know what I mean? And that's got to be rough. That must be rough if you're Drake to hear that, because now all Drake can potentially do is sue sound. That's the only thing he hasn't tried. If he comes out and is like, hey, anybody making noise can get it, all right? It's the only thing I can think of. You know what I mean? Because it must be terrifying. If you're Drake, to think that Kendrick might perform Not Like Us at the Super Bowl halftime show, one of the most watched events in television, period, might be him doing a song he wrote about you. A song that already, as I'm speaking, has won 3 Grammys. That's gotta be terrifying, to think that he might go out there and perform Not Like Us at the Super Bowl. And the audience knows every word. That would be terrible. That would be, because I would never want to know that. Even if somebody made a song that was devastating about me and my life, and it really tore me up and everybody liked it, I wouldn't want to know that they knew it word for word. You know? That's got to be terrifying, to think that Kendrick Lamar might get out there and perform Not Like Us. Might to a loud stadium of fans screaming. You know? Try to strike a chord, and it's probably I think even scarier than Kendrick performing Not Like Us is the audience performing Not Like Us. Because honestly, anticipation is enough. That's how real entertainment works, you know? Whether he performs it 17 times or he doesn't perform it at all, it's already met the moment in that way, you know? Everyone kicking up a stink about it is what actually caused it to get so much attention, just to see if he'll do it, you know? I mean, I hope he does it. I kind of hope it's the only thing he does. Mainly because the Super Bowl halftime show is recorded, and it has all of its own production elements that gets them submitted for the Emmys. And so there's a chance that this Grammy-winning song might become an Emmy-winning performance. Oh. I will say, though, sometimes it feels like with sports, it's the only time you see so much investment. You see so much come out, like just thrill, agony, all these emotions around a dude's team, around that game, around players and stuff. And I think it's because like sports is one of the few places, maybe even one of the last places, that like a man can express all the aspects of human emotion He can cry over his team losing. He can be elated. He can be like giddy like a little kid or something. And it's one of the last like socially acceptable places. It's very easy to say like, no, just cry. It's okay for men to cry, but you're not ready. I love when people say like, no, come on. Just break through decades and generations of trauma to just like do what feels like what you want to be doing. No, the only thing stopping you is your mind. As if it's that simple, Sports is one of the last few places that these bonds can be created and that you can fully express yourself. It even creeps up in little different ways. Things that you are innocuous enough, but they run cover for other things, right? Like, let's go. Every one of us here knows a man who has a water bottle. Maybe it's half full, maybe it's a quarter full, but he throws it up in the air. And it flips, and it flips, and it flips, and then if it lands right side up on a flat surface, he will lose his mind. He throws the ball up, it flips, lands right side up. Let's go! Like, let's go was just invented to run cover for dudes crying. It is. Go! It's the same mouth movement. It's the same shapes. And if you scream, let's go hard enough, you can squint. And when you squint, people can't tell you're crying. Because we've all known a man. All of us here have known a man where his team, whatever the reason it is that he loves that team, it doesn't matter. His team is down. All right? Loved this team since he was a little kid. Memories going to the stadium and everything. His team is down. It's a very important game. Playoff game. Maybe the game that decides whether or not his team goes to the Super Bowl. This team that he loves, who maybe has never got this far in a long, long time. And they're down with 3 seconds left. They have possession, and they throw a Hail Mary pass. All right? Wide receiver is running for his life as hard as he can. He jumps up in the air, and then by his fingertips, he manages to get control of the ball in the air. He clenches it tight. He lands. Touchdown. Touchdown. The team was behind, and now they're ahead. They've won. There were 3 seconds left. The game is over. And then your friend, who's not on the team, who's not at the game, your friend on his couch pops up in front of the TV. Let's go! Like, truly, as men, I don't even think we would need let's go if we just felt more comfortable saying, I really needed that. Because I even try now to add more sports analogies in the examples that I make, because I feel like it accesses some people who don't get what I'm saying otherwise. There are people that are truly, we give them a bad rap and everybody makes fun of them and everything, but there are people who are genuinely very, very intelligent. You can tell they're intelligent because they find a game that they love and all the game theory around it and all of the possible combinations of what a play could be go through their head. They can screen a play perfectly, almost like it has the lines that we see on the screen, right? But for them, it's playing out perfectly. They know what's happening next. They know someone's made a mistake as soon as the play starts because they understand the game that much. They just don't ever know why their wife is mad. But I think if we incorporated more sports analogies in arguments, people would understand what went wrong. You know what I mean? Like maybe you're mad at your boyfriend or your husband because he forgot something. He forgot something that was really important, you know? And maybe it was like your sister's birthday and you had so much going on that you asked him to go pick something up and then meet you at the party. And instead of going to pick it up, he just met you at the party. And now the place is closed. And so it looks like you didn't get your sister anything. And so you're upset with him because you asked him for this one thing. And instead of doing it, he just kind of blew it off, or he wasn't paying attention, or he genuinely just forgot and then showed up. And he doesn't understand why you're upset. But if you say to him, look, it was fourth quarter. It was fourth quarter, and you're at the 3rd yard line. Like,